Ова е подкаст од Европски муабети на Младински сојуз. Добре дојдовте. Овде главна струја се младите. Млади размислуваат, млади говорат. Уживајте.
Welcome in our 9th episode of European Talks or Европски муабети, serial of podcasts which we are working more than 12 months now, and we are proud of our results with European Talks. Acknowledgements towards the Europe House in Skopje and European delegation of European Commission in our country for supporting us to implement this Europe House, with this Europe Talks. And I hope that in the future this kind of initiatives will be also implemented by the young people and for the young people in our country. Today with me is very, very, very important. Today's podcast is on very important topic. Green is also my color. Is the name of the podcast today, or topic of the podcast today. And with me today are Gordana and Hans from Men and Mountain. We actually met today, so I hope this will be very, very fruitful meeting of today. Welcome. How are you?
Hi. Ciao. Hi. We're doing good. How are you?
Nice. I feel comfortable.
Nice.
We are in our office, so we are very, very, very comfortable for this
it's
podcast.
It's warm. It's outside. It's cold and winter, and here it's warm and cozy. Yes.
Nice. So thank you very much for acceptance of our invitation, you to be our guest on European Talks podcast. I hope this will be good example, and we will make much more this kind of green podcast in the future. So as we have started, this is very important topic for our society and for today's world. The world should be dedicated on saving of our planet. It's very, very cliche, but it's in order to understand what is our task, we should be dedicated on saving of our neighborhood, of saving of our green planet. So I usually, because we are working as Youth Alliance Khrushchev very much on stereotypes between the young people and nationalism that is growing among the young people, I'm saying while we are on the Balkans are solving stereotypes, the planet is dying. So we don't see the real matter, real issue of our lives. So now the young people understood what is their mission, today's mission. So therefore, very often they're identifying themselves like green generation. It's Generation Z. It's generation lost generation. We are calling them also lost generation. Now we will have quarantine generation. But basically, they're identifying themselves like green generation. So if my color is yellow color, is your color green color, and how this color made recognizable for Men and Mountain?
Actually, Jana, thank you for having us first of all, and it's a great pleasure to sit here with you, and that you prepared all those questions, and we'll be hopefully answering them properly. And yes, Men and Mountain and Green, this is a longer story. You mentioned a lot of things already about young generation, about the color green, the symbolic that is connected to it. Actually, our color was not green. We started our company with ideas. Our company is based on ideas of how we want to live. Our project Soncheva is an idealistic world. It's a country that we want to live in, exactly how it should be. And this country is called Soncheva, the land of the sun. And of course, a land has many colors, as well as it has many inhabitants, young people, old people, generations living together and trying to make the best around them. And one of the starting points of our project Soncheva was the environment, because for me as a foreigner, it was obvious that in this country there are a lot of problems about environmental issues. We see a lot of trash around, we see a lot of plastic bags and other trash in the nature, which is completely irritating for me because Macedonia, and I don't want to choose any wrong words, but is simply one of the most beautiful countries in the world, as far as I know them. And you have everything. The people here are so spoiled because they have no idea how beautiful their country is. You have the highest mountains, you have the deepest lakes, you have plain fields. You're living somewhere between the jungle and Arizona. And it's a sheer paradise what you can achieve within 250 kilometers, in which endlessly beautiful landscapes you can dive into. You can dive into 2,500 or 3,000 or 8,000 years of history. You have everything in this country. And on top of it, you have the best food, but just on top of it. And because talking of Kruševo, because this is, when we talk about food, Kruševo is also one of our main capitals, because Kruševo is guilty for making me plus 10 kilograms of locum, but that's a different story. So our land is Sončeva. Our land is not called Macedonia, North Macedonia, or however. Our land is Sončeva, the land of the sun. And it's a land that should give us all hope and a reason to be in. And this land should be clean. It should be cleaned by the trash and by the waste of the past. This is our idea. And you might call it green. We just want to let the land breathe again. And we believe that the people deserve to live in a good country, and they also deserve to see that country again that they are all born in. Because most of the people are blinded by problems, economical problems, political problems, social problems, and they lost their love to this country. And it's not about nationalistic approach or any approach that will exclude other people from that love to this country. It is like reinventing the love to this country, rediscover your country and be proud of it, because there's nothing bad being proud of your home. And our action is, or our idea about Sončeva and Zelena Sončeva, and I'm talking long, I know, but you said you can cut out a lot too, so I will just continue. And
go ahead.
Go. Okay. So green is a symbol, as we all know, and we're trying to adapt this phase of our project Sončeva into a cleaning action. We want to first to clean the country from the garbage of the past to build a green future. And young people as well as old people, but we're mainly addressing young people in this podcast, but actually all generations and in all social levels should be aware that they all live in the same country. They all breathe the same air. No matter if you're rich, young, old, or what kind of religion or ethnical background you have, you eat the same food, you drink the same water. And it doesn't end after your village, it just continues. And so when you drive through the countryside and somebody opens the window and throws out of it trash, then this is actually an insult to you personally. And this is the target of our action, because we want to make the people aware that this is your country and you are responsible for it. But on the other side, you can also create it the way you want to. And it couldn't be more true than in Macedonia. I think everybody here in this country has the opportunity to create his own future here, his own ideas. We've met the craziest people who made a living, and this is possible here. This is probably not possible in any Western European country like Germany or Austria, where everything is already settled, where everything is so organized to the last possible moment that you have no space for fantasy. But fantasy is actually the ether that is feeding the people of Macedonia.
Thank you very much, Hans. It was a thorough explanation of why should we have style not only color, but also we should have way how we are making changes, especially changes what we want to see in our home, in our community, in our neighbor, in our country at the end. So yes, we understood that this is, I hope, that the next generation, at least according to our analysis, they are understanding why this is very, very important for their future life and why they are key figures for making these changes. But young people need experiences, and young people need knowledge. They need sharing of good examples in order to understood how they can act. Youth Alliance Kruševo is usually working on these very, huge topics, global topics, individually with the young people. So we believe that changes in one young person can make changes in the world. Absolutely. Therefore, we are working with them on individual habits, and I think that the style is the most important in this moment to speak. So, Gordana, what is Sončeva, Zelena, and what? If I'm making mistakes, please apologizes for this. And what are your solutions, like activists, with your experiences from your actions? How we can make changes in one young person? What one young person can do for individual change in order to make more clean, more Sončeva in his or her life? Yes.
We can talk based on our experience from the last year when Zelena Sončeva actually started. When the project started, we went through 10 municipalities. We met from different parts of Macedonia. We met different people, different mentality, different way of thinking. And we need to talk with them and implement this so they to understand what we want to achieve. With each of them, we have to find a different angle, and it works. The thing that last year make successful, actually the action was held in 3 days, 6th, 7th and 8th of May, in 10 municipalities. We gather, the point was that all of us, we come together to do one thing, to clear our environment. So from central government, support to the local government, municipalities, and they make a call to all people. So we have sports clubs, professional, non-professional, amateur, NGOs, kindergarten kids, schools, pensionists who participated in the first action in Yugoslavia. So yes, mountain climbers, everyone was there, and they gathered together. They came together in these 3 days in these locations that we decided where to be clean. Actually, municipalities chose them, and they clean it. So the point was that people should know that we should not wait something from up to come to us, but we should make the changes. We should roll our sleeves, make ourselves dirty, and go on the field and clean our home. We don't clean only the street of our neighbors, or we clean our own streets because we walk them. So that's why maybe they all these people get the message, especially young people, and we saw that they're eager to make some changes in their environment, because according to some researchers, the clean environment means cleaner and better emotional and mental life. It's directly connected. We try to show that this is directly connected. Everything is connected. And that's why we have this holistic approach. Nice. We came up with this holistic approach because of the whole. And we are very happy that we had 90% of the volunteers. We have precise number, 1,002 people were participating as a volunteers last year. In 3 days, 90% of them were young people from 13 mostly to 20, 25 years old. and this is the message. The youth is ready, and they understood that they have to do something. They don't have to wait for up to come from politicians. We have to do it from us, from people.
Okay, thank you very much,
Sorry.
Cortana. No, it's
No,
a-
I just wanted to add about the project, to explain the project
Go.
shortly.
Mhm.
So Zelena Sončeva is the whole project, and it contains 2 parts. It's Generalka weekend, when we clean, the spring cleaning action, like we do in our homes before Easter, we spring cleaning. That's what we're supposed to do out with our environment. And then it's the Sončeva Gora, which will be a forest planted by all these people who participate in the action. Because for each 10 kilograms of collected trash, we plant 1 tree. So last year we have 175,000 kilograms of collected trash in 3 days in 10 municipalities. So which is equal on 70,500 trees that we will plant this year. This year we will double the number of municipalities. Maybe they will be around 24, 25. So we will address to more than 800,000 people in this country.
Thank you very much that you are doing this. I am proud that you are with us together here, and thank you for doing this.
Thank you for letting us doing this. I mean,
It's very inspiring while doing this moderation. Let's say, is the next question correct? Questions choose or not? But however, European Union decided to clean European Union as a whole. They have these green policies on top of their priorities. I'm saying they because I wonder, is European Commission is working with their neighbors in our society, for example, regarding implementing these European policies and these European green, not only policies, but mechanisms for better and green future. So what do you think, how we are implementing these European policies in our country or in our society, no matter, and is European Commission matters if we are implementing their strategies and policies in our society?
I mean, this is a huge topic, and probably we can talk about European Union and their values and how things are implemented in legislation, how is it created. We can fill a whole series of podcasts talking about this. Unfortunately, I'm not a very good politician, and I'm not able to analyze everything appropriately or properly into all depth. I can only tell you from my experience. I'm from Austria originally, so I come from the European Union, and I'm so old that I was even an Austrian before the European Union was part of Austria, or Austria was part of European Union. So I learned to know a couple of systems in my life already, as probably most of the Macedonians learned to know a lot of political systems in their lifetime. So I am, and that's not a secret, I'm a huge supporter of the European idea. For me, this is the best idea since there is mankind. It is a peaceful implementation of a multi-ethnical democracy that is more than having, in the meantime, I think Europe has more than 400 million people. This is nearly 1.5 times as big as the USA. So we can be proud of our old continent, and it was soaked in, and everything we are having today is built on pain and on wars, and on we had to fight for everything we have, but we have it, and that makes, if you see globally what's going on, even if you take a look at the USA, how democracy is implemented in our system in Europe and also in Macedonia. I know there's a lot of fights going on in the politics world, but I don't lose trust in it, because this is a procedure. Democracy and protecting and defending values is a procedure, and it never stops, because we as humans are always evolving. Technology evolving, our state is evolving, our society is evolving. You cannot compare us as a society with a society that lived 30 years ago. When Macedonia started, it was a complete different world than it is today. So how can Macedonia work as it worked 50 years ago when the good old times were? It's not possible. So we have to evolve, and we have to implement better values, and we have to try to become the best version of ourselves. And this includes democracy. Standing still always means reinforcing dark forces. No evolvement, no development is always bringing back the shadows of the past. If we're constantly moving forward, if we learn from the past not to make the mistakes and make it better, it's a step-by-step thing, and it will never end. And when you understand that society is bigger than a single human being, then you have also opened the doors to a better future for all of us. Because single people are always single people. Maybe they're good, maybe they're bad, but one day they die, and then they're gone. So what's with the rest of the people? So if you build a state, if you build values that are concentrated on one person, if this person is gone, the whole system is gone. And therefore all the people who are living in that system are again in some space, and no gravity, no reliable. But people want security. People want perspective. People want to have a reason to get up in the morning and to be happy. They want to have their families. They want to feel safe. They want to have the opportunity to live their ideas. This is what most of the people want. And there's nothing wrong with it. And I think that the European Union, as far as we're now, is the best attempt of humankind to try that. They try it. They make a parliament, they make a commission, and they do a lot of things that are not so great, but they overcome it. They reform it. They try to make things better. And the Green Deal, oh my God, I'm talking too long. I apologize for everyone who fell asleep in the meantime.
Don't.
But the Green Deal is one of those attempts that I see from my perspective, and I'm not a politician, I'm not a scientist, but what I can see is this is the bravest move into the future that I've ever seen in any society in history of mankind. It's a complete peaceful revolution that goes to the core of our society, because energy is the core of our society. Without electricity, without energy, we would still live in the medieval or even in Stone Age. There's nothing in our life works without energy. And if a system that is containing nearly 500 million people in the most developed area on the planet is deciding to make a ground-deep reform of that, then this is a brave move, and we should all support it. And we should also keep in mind that green energy is not about, the challenge is not about how you make energy. Renewable energy, sustainable energy, this is one part, but what does it mean? It means, in reality, that we make ourselves independent. We make ourselves independent from the people who are selling this energy. Just take a look. How do you cook? Where does our electricity come from? It actually comes from gas. It comes from oil. Who is producing oil? There are not a lot of people, not a lot of companies who are doing this on a global scale. There's nothing bad with it, but actually we are dependent on those people. And the biggest society on the planet, it's not the biggest society, but the European Union as a representative of one of the most powerful economies and economic areas of the planet, has decided to make itself independent from monopolists. And this is the revolution. And this is what we see every day when we go to the gas station. Why are the prices so high? Why is gas getting higher? This is a huge war going on from the old forces against the new forces. This is a strong attempt of reversing that Green Deal, of trying to stop it. You can see, even in America, they are not able to do this, what the Europeans are doing. Even Joe Biden tries to get a Green Deal done, and he's damaged by his own party. They stop him, but the Europeans do it. And that is something we should all be proud of. And about implementation, everything that is coming from the European Union by implementing green values should be implemented immediately. And it is possible, and it's not painful. If you see the plastic bags, the whole industry of plastic bags, do you know how many companies there are actually on the global scale who are producing plastic bags? Guess.
On global level.
On the whole planet, how many companies are producing plastic bags?
I don't know, 1 million.
It's 90% of the plastic bags worldwide are produced by 25 companies.
Nice. Monopoly.
So who do you think was yelling the loudest when they say plastic bags have to be forbidden? It's not the 10% of the rest, it's those 25 companies and no one else. Who is producing the most carbon? I mean, we can go on like this, but in the end, it's the power of a few very powerful and strong companies that are keeping the whole society hostage. And the European Union is trying to find a dialogue between those forces. And sometimes it's a little bit rougher, like with forbidding the plastic bags, because it's unbearable. And look, in the supermarkets, you get paper bags everywhere. It's no problem. It's no problem to have paper bags. We will implement sooner or later the separation of trash into plastic, glass, cans. It's super necessary. It's no big deal at all. You have like 3 cans, 3 colors, and put your stuff into where it belongs to, and we will recycle it. This has to be implemented on a national scale. It's not there yet, but we see with companies like Bacomac that they really put a huge effort to implement it, and they do such a great job. But it's like a man and mountain. It's just one man and a huge mountain of trash. But that's why we're here. So we are taking the challenge, and we try to do whatever is necessary in our lifetime to make it better. Because and this is how I'm getting back to the beginning, because man and mountain doesn't count at all. It's what we do that counts, because this goes into the society, and the society will remain no matter if we are still existing or not, but society will be there. And so we should really always take the positive from the past and implement it as a part of our future, no matter who is responsible for it.
I am also a huge supporter, fan of European Union as idea. Sometimes I am losing, not trust, but trust in the process, let's say. But always there are this kind of chances reminding me why I should continue support and trust in this project. I'm calling project. The European Union is a project and process. And I think that this is very important on individual level among the young people. They should learn the process, how the electricity is coming in their home, how the water is coming in their home, who is producing the glasses. And these processes are important for building the future. And I understood your key in your answer. So processes are very important of our lives. Yes, we should be patient in the process of development of European Union. As such, we want to have this kind of union. And Western Balkan is part of European Union. So, yes. But when we are speaking about, this kind of systems and this kind of processes, definitely the world local is very, very, important word, because changes even European changes should start locally. This is my personal opinion. So, regarding your action and what you are doing, and it's nice to see Generalka weekend. I love to. My mom was always for weekend cleaning at home, so this is our tradition.
Yes.
So I also use Saturdays sometimes to clean my home. So how it goes now with Generalka weekend in our cities, in our homes?
Yes, actually, when you mention tradition, our goal is Generalka weekend to become a tradition implemented by law as a day or days, 2-3 days for cleaning the environment every year. That's our goal, and we will hope that we will manage the government to implement this because it's very important, and to clean our environment. And we can achieve something if we go locally, if we start from the tiniest units, and even if it's one family, 2 members, a group of friends, like we are doing, going to the municipalities. We go to the municipalities, we talk with the people, because for us it's very important to meet these people, to talk with them, to understand what's going on, because it's in each municipality is different. They have different problems. Somewhere they don't have infrastructure, but they have a will to do something. Somewhere they have infrastructure, but they still don't know how to manage this. And we go talk with them, gather knowledge, and try to with their help, actually, to make it better, to implement it everywhere. So last year were 10 municipalities. This year will be maybe more than 20. Next year we want to implement 10 more. Then after that 10 more. Each year more and more municipalities to participate. And one day from locally, starting from 10 municipalities, one day we will have all of them, 82. Actually, it will be national-wide action, and it will happen everywhere, in every city, in every municipality in our country, in the same dates. People will go and clean. And we think that changes for a better can happen if it's on a long term. That's why we put a goal 10 years. We hope that after 4 or 5 years there's nothing to be clean. We hope. Yeah, but that's the goal, because the changes in the thinking of the people are the hardest to do it. Maybe with younger generation not that much, because they understood it faster, they learn faster. But maybe some older generation who get used to it, to throw the trash via the balcony or something. We witness some things. We want to show them that they are directly responsible for the life quality of their kids. It's directly connected. You want to add something?
Yeah, I have to add something.
Yes.
Because if it's
I feel you. Yeah.
Yeah, no, actually, because you said you started to explain actually how this action will roll out in an ideal world. It all started in Kruševo. Yes. Actually, I just wanted to add this on. So it was on one of those travels, because Gordana and me were traveling in Macedonia for quite some time. And when we ended up in Kruševo, it was very cold. But actually it was a very cozy hotel room, but very cold. And when we visited the Macedonium the next day, we thought that would be the perfect headquarter for our company. And because it looks futuristic, and you're on the top of the hill and you see down on all those green forests and this broad valley. And it was so beautiful. And after the 3rd packet of locum, we were so oversugared that we finally came to the idea, maybe we should make a state that looks exactly like here, like perfect. And so this was the birthplace actually. So it was also Kruševo was also the birthplace of Sončeva. I just wanted to add that.
Yes.
It is inspirative, place of inspiration. I'm trying to put some epithet.
Yes.
Yeah, it is. I know. I am born there. I know how this place is acting to the people, but we have a lot of work for Crucial. So it is place of inspiration, but there needs of a lot of development. So, but thank you very much for sharing this story. It's for me, it's super powerful.
Actually, Kruševo is one of these 10 first municipalities who participate in Generalka, and it was great success there, and they will be with us in the next years too.
Super. It's nice. It's nice to see. They have tradition, as we have speak. So my grandmother was cleaning the street without nobody ask her, because it's part of her culture. It was shame for her the street to not be clean. So this was her style. Now we should bring this tradition again in the focus of the lifestyle of the young generation. Nobody was telling them in that period that they should clean their street. And they were not expecting somebody to clean their street. It was their role. So this is part of the, of local communities' style, how to say, and their survival values.
There's also one little side story about Zelena Sončeva on the Generalka weekend, because we know that under the old regime, or old Yugoslavian regime, there was a tradition that the youth was gathering for some national action. They had to go there somewhere to clean something or to do something for the community. And these people were called Tito Pioneri. I don't know if you're still this generation who.
I am the last generation of Tito Pioneri.
And then we thought it's actually, we talked to a lot of people. I mean, I'm very careful as a foreigner, of course, because I rather ask 5 times before making my opinion. But I was under the impression that people have a very positive memory on these times when groups of people came together to do something good for the community. And so we thought we're gonna awaken this idea, and actually our volunteers, the people who are working on the Generalka weekend to make themselves dirty and clean, we call them Sončevi Pioneri. And we made t-shirts where Sončevi Pioneri is printed on, and interestingly, we had elderly people who are from the generation of the Tito Pioneri, and they got the joke. And because it's a joke, it should be fun. I mean, this is we are talking about so serious things, but actually, it's not. We cannot change anything only because it's serious. We should change it because we like it, and that is why we do this action. Actually, we're not. Our motto is not that we're disgusted by the horrible things on the planet. No, we're motivated because we love this place. And the love is much stronger than the negative feeling. So in order to let the love breathe, we just clean it from the trash that is stopping the flow of love. So that's the hippie part of it. But that's an important thing, I think, to keep it positive and fun.
Super. We will use this element for the teaser of the podcast. For us, the word value in our organization in general is very important. So we are trying to keep the good values in our team, in our family here, and also to raise the. When I'm speaking good values, I mean on tolerance, respect, mutual understanding, dialogue, love, happy young people, these kind of values. So what are the values in Man and Mountain, Sončeva, Sončevi Pioneri, which are the key values of Generalka weekend, that you are raising and you are developing your actions based on which values?
I would like to add something, and you can continue about the values. We were thinking when we start this, we start this with a pure intention. That's the first value. When you start something with pure intention to make something better, I think the path is opening. Universe is working somehow. This is spiritual part of it. And it's opening when you do with a pure heart. For young generation, if we refer on them, I think that especially, I mean, we've been through a lot of changes in the last 30 years, a lot of systems, a lot of adaptation, from socialistic to quasi-capitalistic, I don't know how to say it, a lot of transitions. And I think that we are tired of it. We want to now be established in some system who is functioning and people who care about their society. So this came up the term long-term thinking. Long-term thinking, I stumbled upon like a term a couple of days ago. I still did not know how to put this in one word, but it was interesting that I stumbled upon this long-term. It's a thing that what you are doing, your acts, how they will impact the future of your society after 20, 50, 100 years. Mm-hmm. What you gonna do to make this place better, to make people live better, because there's also not just individuality but collective awareness that if somebody around you live good and he's happy, you are automatically into that cycle. Mm-hmm. It's not just us, we, and nobody else. We have this challenge to go there, only us taking care of us, but I think we should spread a little bit our consciousness and take care about our surroundings. So this long-term thinking, maybe young people can research about this term. It's quite often these days. There's a lot of books written about contemporary authors about this, what it actually means. You should maybe add some values that
I
we have.
don't know. Yes, I mean, I think through what we've been talking so far, it becomes clear what kind of people we are. I think, but if you ask us for key values, I think we see the world in a holistic way. We see that everything is connected. All the people, all the nature, economy, politics, education, traffic, everything is connected. And we found out that it's very hard to find one group of people that are guilty for something. Mm-hmm. And we found out that if you solve one problem, mm-hmm. you know, you're not solving the problem. You're just solving an aspect of the problem. Yes. So whatever you do, if you have we got to the state of mind that whatever we do that is positive, that we think is positive, God knows if it's really positive, you know, but just that we do with our best of intentions, is just solving a part of the problem, but never the problem itself, because the problem is actually the development and changing in society, changing in generations, changing in technology. So actually it's not a problem, it's actually, that's why we're here. All these changes, everything that is developing inside the society, inside the nature environment, is actually the thing that we have to deal with. Mm-hmm. So there is no problem. There is no circumstance we are not able to change. Mm-hmm. So our key value is, I think, this really strong belief in the creativity and in the stubbornness of people. We want to reinforce young people, old people, women, men. We don't care which ethnic background it is. Actually, if I'm very honest, I don't even care about the history at all, because it makes no sense that we imprison our future when we are completely bound and tied in the past. what happened in the past happened in the past. Everybody made mistakes. Everybody is doing stupid things. I mean, we're humans. After all, in the end, we're really humans. That makes us, and the difference between a human and a machine is that human make mistakes.
And the beauty.
And in the end, with the mistakes, new paths are opening. And so, whatever happened in the past happened in the past. But we are on a timeline that goes into one direction, and that is the future. We're not moving backwards. That's not how universe is working. We're going. The clock is ticking in this direction. So it makes no sense to hold back development and to celebrate the good old times when the good old times are suffocating the future. And we see opportunity everywhere. We see wherever we go, we see possibilities and opportunities for creative people, for people who want to do something in their life, who are active, who want to try out something. And because it's true, there is. You know, wherever you go, there is opportunity. I mean, Man and Mountain didn't exist 3 years ago, and we just came and said, okay, let's do something with fantasy. Let's create our own state. And now we're sitting here having the podcast with you 2.5 years later, you know, and we're talking to politicians, we're talking to, you know, mayors, to youth organizations, all generations. I gained 10 kilograms of locum on my body, you know, and a lot of things are happening, and because it's possible. Everything is possible. You know, the difference is just, do you want to watch how history is moving forward, or do you want to make history?
I think history is part of our lives, and we should build only better future on what we have like experience from our lives. So yes, we are making personal mistake. Why we are so judging the social mistakes when we are making mistakes to the society? However, it's nice to talk about different types of values and different perceptions of values between us. However, future is part of the also words values in our life, in our daily work. Whenever people are asking me what are your future plans, I don't want to make huge plans when I'm speaking about Youth Alliance Crucial. There was very good recommendations once from, I don't know, older generation speaker on our events. Plan your future. He said to us, plan your future. Definitely the green is part of our future plans. When we want to promote European values among the young people, green is part of these plans. When we want to promote entrepreneurship and social entrepreneurship among the young people, green economy is of our plans. When we want to promote youth citizenship among the young people, citizenship as itself, like among the young people, green actions are part of our responsibilities and youth responsibilities of young people in the citizenship manner. So what are the plans of Man and Mountain and Zelena Sončeva and all your projects? What are your future plans?
Mention the festival. Should
no.
I mention?
I mean, we have a lot of plans.
A
Actually.
lot of.
We have a lot of projects. It's actually what Man and Mountain is doing. Basically, we're creating projects on the run all the time, and we have at least 20, 25 projects in our drawer, because we're constantly creating new projects, new events, lots of things. I mean. That are far beyond Zelena Sončeva and also Sončeva, but keeping it now a little bit narrow, because you asked Man and Mountain, we're planning TV shows, we're planning movies. It's crazy, and most of it will not happen because we're just you know, we have only 24 hours per day, but
And 12 months.
And 12 months, yeah, something is wrong with this time, you know. We have to get it in order, and basically we have an artistic approach to everything we do, and we don't want to do stuff by ourselves. So we're trying to create projects and find allies to do this, because we believe that when more people are involved, when we do something together, then this will happen. Then this will have an impact. We are not believers in doing things by ourselves and just in our little chamber and not sharing it with the world. We love to bring people together. We love creating a climate of creativity. We love giving a climate of you can try out, you can make mistakes, no problem. We stumbled upon a very nice quote. We're actually having a non-blaming culture. So
non-blaming policy.
Policy it was. Yeah.
Policy culture.
It sounds better than
Okay,
culture. Yeah, culture is too much culture.
No, it's okay.
Policy. Let's stay
No,
with policy.
so it's non-blaming. Whatever happens, no blaming. Let's focus and find a solution.
Yes. So it's about the problem solving and
Yes.
not about the person. And I think this is a huge thing. If you work with people, everybody makes mistakes, of course, we saw, but actually it is really important to find out that because everybody makes mistakes, it's not the person who makes the mistake, it's the mistake that doesn't have to happen. That's the problem, but not the person, because every person can do better and everybody can learn, and we are learning our whole lives until we're dead, so hopefully. And so our projects are built on this. We want to educate ourselves with the wisdom of the people that are around us, and we want to make projects, and Zelená Sončeva should be for the next 10 years around, and we want to have it every year. In the spring we want to clean, in the Generalka weekend, in the fall we want to plant trees, so that in the end we make it a long term, as you said. We want to make it as long term as possible, because people should get into that mood. Okay, now it's the second weekend of May again, so we're all gonna hang out and collect the trash. Then maybe we're gonna party later on too. So we are developing one little project this year for the first time. We're gonna make parties, because Corona is kind of going to the end, hopefully, and but you know, one day it will be. And so we are thought about when the people go out and collect trash and make themselves dirty. There's nothing better than a good food later on. A good local food, food that was grown on that soil that the people were just cleaning. And we want to make a local festival, and we tried out this year for the first time in 2 cities, and we are very, very excited about this part, because it brings back the fun, and we have local music, and we also bring the holistic approach to the people on a fun way. We introduce a disposal system for all drink cups and food plates, so that people get used to return their plates, to return their food glasses and cups, so that there will be a festival without trash. And that's the idea. Let's see how many mistakes we are going to do. There's for sure a lot of them, but at least it was fun.
You have support from us for the future plans.
Thank you.
Let's collaborate to have better with less mistakes future plans. Thank you very much for this nice and cozy interview. I hope that we will motivate and encourage the young people to be more, to act with more fun in their big problems, let's say. And I want to thanks also to my team regarding the European Talks podcast. Thank you, Nicola, for the patience regarding all of this podcast. Thanks to Anelia, thanks to Andre, thanks to the whole team who were involved in the preparations of these materials and of these talks. And thank you, Youth Alliance Krushawa, that provided the opportunity to moderate this podcast. It was very pleasure. Thank you very much for this productive morning.
Thank you for having us here.
Thank you, Biljana. Thank you for having us.
Беше супер. Завършуваме.
Okay.